Hello, everyone, and we are back for the second night in a row. This is the Smark City podcast. I am Drew Nicholas, who seems to love this Google Hangout gimmick way too much to ever give it back to Alex ever again.
You can have it.
And
I'll do the Twitter thing. I'm just typing up an apology to TJ Perkins right now
why?
because I did the Cruiserweight Contender Series on the old domain, and I left him off the list. So, TJ, that's on me, bud. I'm sorry. That's on me. I'm wrong. You're totally right, because that was amazing.
Yeah, I was very, very wrong tonight. My bracket was busted wide open, and I had the people who lost tonight as the people in the finals. So,
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that amazing? Whew.
I mean, so
What a fucking tournament.
just having Grand Metalik in it was already like, okay, Metalik Ibushi, I could see that. And then all of a sudden,
when
Teacher Perkins himself, my God.
when Metalik won, I was like, oh shit, TJ's gonna win. Because I don't know why. I just felt it in my core, like it was just like yes, Ibushi versus Metalik would be the most outrageous flippy shit match in the history of flippy shit matches. But just something about it, I was like, they're not gonna put Ibushi up to lose to Metalik. And I don't know why Metalik would be there if he wasn't, unless you were going to – it's complicated because I feel like if Metalik's in it, he's not going to win over Ibushi. It just didn't feel right to me. So I was like, I don't know. Then they should have just gone with Sabre if they were going to put Ibushi over. And it just kind of clicked in my head. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but it did to me. And then TJ won, and I was like, oh, my God. That was an amazing match.
So let's
Jesus Christ. This fucking tournament.
We don't really need to get into every single match and everything that happened because we would be here for 2 hours. So let's talk about the one thing that we were both not expecting to happen tonight that actually showed up all of a sudden, and we both went, ooh, that's pretty. Let's talk about...
Could you have said that any creepier?
Ew.
I could have, I'm sure.
My precious.
Don't start, please.
Well, you don't like Lord of the Rings?
Don't get nerdy and weird.
First off, I am nerdy and weird. Second, so are you. You watch wrestling.
Touche.
Welcome to the club. And not the good, like, not the club that you'd want to be a part of, like the Bullet Club, but like the club of like, yay, we like wrestling and we're on the internet. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Cruiserweight Championship. The new title that TJ Perkins will be bringing to Raw on Monday. That thing is pretty.
You know, the nicest thing they did with that title is they branded the CWC as like the beginning of Cruiserweight wrestling in WWE once again. They put so many great wrestlers in it. They gave us so many meaningful matches. And then they gave us a championship belt that represents the hard work that went into winning the first tournament. It's just smart. They used the colors. They used the branding. They used everything to give the Cruiserweight division the best possible start they could have on Raw. Now, what Raw does with it remains to be seen. But, I mean, you got to take your hat off, your shirt off, your socks off, whatever you got on, take it off in respect to these men. Because this tournament was phenomenal. It was the best thing WWE has created start to finish in a long time. My God, I am such a mark, and I hope they do this again next year because, my God, this tournament was just amazing in every single possible. It was just fucking Christ. It was so good.
Yeah, this definitely needs to be a yearly tournament For
Yeah,
sure.
they need to make this annual. They need to make the Dusty Road Tag Team Classic an annual thing as well. I mean, my
There
goodness.
were a lot of matches. I watched every single match on this thing, and I'm surprised because you know me, but maybe a lot of other people don't know me. Um, I pretty much just started watching WWE in 2012 after a very, very long hiatus, about a 12-year hiatus. So the SmackDown 6 era, the ruthless aggression era, all that stuff, I missed all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Well, the nice thing is that you missed kind of the growing pains of having to limp along without Rock and Austin and Foley and all that. But then SmackDown became so good, so I do feel like you missed some stuff there. I watched pro wrestling. I didn't watch as a kid as much, but when I got into like middle school, around 10, 11 years old, I started watching, and I would go upstairs and watch Raw when I was doing my homework. And I would watch Raw and an occasional SmackDown, and the SmackDown became my show eventually because it was Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle and Cena and, Lesnar and all these guys that were just so good. And, you know, I remember being essentially a child at that point, and it was so magical. And you kind of lose that luster as you become smarter and smarter about what pro wrestling actually is. But then you have something like the Cruiserweight Classic come along, and it's so good that the magic is just instantly back. And I think that's really, at the end of the day, any wrestling fan, the magic doesn't go away. It just takes more to bring it out of you, and it takes a higher quality product to bring it out of you. This is the highest quality thing since NXT R Evolution that I think they've made in WWE. Like, I can't think of anything better. WrestleMania 32. I think that was the Daniel Bryan one. Am I right? And then NXT R Evolution. Like, those are the only two things I can think of that are just by far like leave you speechless in happiness. That's what this Cruiserweight Classic has done week in and week out. I love it. They got to do it again. They have to. I said it on Twitter. I want them to get, these are the names. WWE, give me these names. I will buy anything you want me to buy. Kenny Omega, Ricochet, Will Ospreay. Those three are my three guys I need you to get. I don't care how you do it. Just do it. Get those three. I will do anything you need me to do.
Including take your socks off and your shirt and
socks and shirt. I will show up in the crowd naked. Like, I don't know why you'd want that, but I'll do it.
I don't think many people would want that. Thankfully, we don't have cameras.
That's not child friendly, but you get the point. Like, what can you say, man? Like, it's just so fun when wrestling is fun.
Yeah. Wrestling, since I've started watching it, has rarely gotten me to an emotional point. There have only been very, very few moments in the past 4 years that I've come back to wrestling. And two of those moments were right in the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yeah.
TJ, just his story is so motivational and heartbreaking at the same time. But just hearing what he's gone through in his life, starting wrestling at 13, being homeless, and the story that he just told at the end there about keeping the key to the last place he got evicted to, man, that was really, really emotional.
His promos tonight, both of them were not just impressive, but better than like so much of what you see. Like, it was on par with Cena, Styles, Ambrose last night. That's how good his two promos were. He said his first promo, he said, before Enlightenment, you cut wood or you chop wood and you carry water. And then after Enlightenment, you chop wood, you carry water. And Basically, the metaphor, I guess it's a Buddhist metaphor or something, Hindu or something like that. Point is, it's really cool. It's something that you don't hear often from a wrestler of all people. But it was such a great thing because it showed his humble attitude of he just wants to come in and work. And my God, man, just he's so endearing and easy to love. And man, I'm a fool for leaving him off my Cruiserweight Contenders series. I'm an idiot.
You're not an idiot. Don't put yourself down.
I deserve a little bit of hazing for that because I fucked that up bad.
Well, it's not like anybody's ever going to see it, so
yeah,
like
fucking,
never existed.
fucking. I put so much effort in that. I made photoshopped like images for the articles. I put in a lot of homework and like described how these guys worked and all this shit. And man, I'm so pissed that stuff's gone. Anyway, I spent a lot of time in it, and I appreciate in memoriam, people hazing me for it. So it sounds like at least people read it,
The second part that got me emotional in the CWC was all the way back to Gargano and Ciampa.
Yeah, I knew that one got you. I was about to lead into to ask you, now that we've finished the Cruiserweight Classic, what was the best match, the standout match for you?
Whew, man. Well, Gargano and Ciampa for sure. That got me teary-eyed because that's the friendship that they have and the story that they told with that, and now that it's carrying on from that match to NXT Takeover, and now that they're fighting for the tag team championship on NXT, and unfortunately, eventually Ciampa is going to turn on Gargano for it.
Yeah,
which is really just sad. That's just what I don't want to see.
Yeah, shit happens, especially in wrestling.
Yeah, and I know that there was another one. There's another one in the second round that got me. I think it was
probably Ibushi Alexander.
Yeah, yep, that was it. Yeah, that's when Triple H came out at the end.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite match of the whole thing. I feel like that match is the heart and soul of what the Cruiserweight Classic was all about. And I think that's going to be the match that stands the test of time. Is you want to know what the Cruiserweight Classic was about? Watch that match. And I'm just happy that it's happened. I want to turn that question to everybody watching as well. What was your favorite Cruiserweight Classic match? Because, we need to celebrate this. This is something that was this is not your normal WWE content. This was really something special. And, we should celebrate it for what it is and enjoy it and look back on it fondly. Man. So
every round I had like my favorite match, I would say. So the first round was Gargano Ciampa.
Well, that wasn't the first round. It was. Yeah, it was. I'm wrong. Shut up, Alex. Dummy.
Second round was Ibushi Alexander.
Yep.
The third round for me, and I wasn't a fan of Zack Sabre Jr. really from the first two rounds because there's just something about him.
He didn't have the right player. Weird. Like, I think a couple of the English guys struggled. I think him and Noam Dar, in particular, from my recollection. I think both of them kind of started slow out of the gates, especially Dar. Dar wasn't showing up the way I know he's capable of showing up. And then a light turned on, and he got it. And same for Sabre. So, I'm happy with both those guys. What Sabre's going to have to do is what he did tonight if he ever wrestles in WWE, which I'm sure he will. He worked a style that was more fast-paced. He kind of worked and let the other guy fly high, and then he brought his own stuff to counter the high-flying stuff. So it made a very easy transition between this really fast cruiserweight centric style, and then, oh my God, he's ripping his arm out of his socket, and that contrast worked wonderfully. I think he and Noam Dar it just took a minute to get the timing down, and that shows how professional they are. Gave them a couple matches, and they got it.
And you want to
They're
know
ready.
something? That was my favorite match of the third round. Zack Sabre Jr. and Dar, I thought were that. Even though I'm Kendrick and Ibushi was on that also.
Yeah,
but
that match was great too.
That was. I mean, it's so hard to once you get to the semifinals and the third round, the semifinals. It's just so hard to even pick a favorite.
Let's be clear here. Ibushi was I want to say he was. I'm gonna do a pun because I just thought of it. I got to be like Morrow here. He was the golden star of the tournament. I think he had a fantastic match every single round he was in. He showed how good he is, and you gotta really think, man. Like the language barrier and everything. I don't know how easy or hard it is to communicate with someone who speaks a foreign language than you in the ring. He pulled it off with no troubles at all, and his matches across the board were wonderful. The fact that he did not win tonight may mean he is not signed with WWE. I hope he does. I think the two guys that the two top names of this tournament were from day one, Kota Ibushi, Zack Sabre Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I recall hearing rumors, or not rumors, but news of Sabre Jr. still in some contract legality stuff where he couldn't sign with WWE even if he wanted to at the moment.
Right. Yeah, and that's the same with the three men that you want for the next one, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that I've heard they want to get back in touch with Sabre next year and hopefully make it happen. Makes perfect sense. And I think Ibushi could sign now, but I think he wants to work a little bit in Japan and then potentially come over. Point is, WWE, these two guys are so talented and so worth your time. I don't care how much money it takes. You pay these two because they're worth it. And I think what's really going to happen is I think they may just be waiting to see how good the Cruiserweight division works and how successful it is before actually putting that much money into
I think
the division. You know what I mean?
I think that they've seen how much they're going to get from this, for sure. I mean, this has been people look to Wednesdays for the past like 10 or 11 weeks now.
Yeah.
Just specifically for the Cruiserweight Classic.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. As soon as Balor left NXT, I've not watched another episode. Yeah. The what I'm watching on Wednesdays is the Cruiserweight Classic. It was just so good. It was so good. What they need to do next year. This is what they need to do next year. You let me tell you right now. You bring back the Brian Kendrick for redemption, or you bring him back either back as a redemption storyline, or you bring him back as I didn't win, therefore I'm going to burn the fucking thing to the ground as a heel. You bring back Sabre Jr. if you can. You bring Kenny Omega, Ricochet, fucking Will Ospreay, and you already have the most bonkers tournament of all time.
There were some surprises for me in the first round that we didn't see again, unfortunately. But there was...
name him.
Fabian Eichner. He fought Jack Gallagher.
Gallagher has signed, I believe, right?
Yes, he has.
Thank fuck. My God. I need Gallagher every week. I need him to show up in the most amazing suits with like the most ridiculously old school tights. I need all of it, and I need him to kick people's faces off. And then I need him to like do his shit where he wraps people up into a pretzel and just kind of waves at them. I need that shit. Ironically, I saw him in an actual MMA fight that he won, by the way. So he's got some actual
I saw that too.
mixed martial art chops, rather. Didn't you love how Triple H was calling the winner of the Cruiserweight the best in the world?
Yeah, He, best in the
My
world.
God. My God. You know, and it's you want to like be like, oh my gosh, you are such a tool for keeping a grudge. Well, it's wrestling. They're not necessarily keeping a grudge. They're just doing what's best for if he ever comes back or whatever. Who knows how he views it in his personal, mind. But I did notice, and I was like, well,
I'm sure he got a good laugh on Saturday.
I don't know. I would feel bad if I saw somebody that I hated and I saw them be awful to me, but in pursuit of a dream. I'd be pissed at them, but that'd be whatever. And then if I saw them absolutely come up short on their dream and, get knocked down, I'd be like, well, that sucks. I wouldn't be happy.
Why are we talking about Triple H and CM Punk right now?
Just because, I brought up the mixed martial arts thing with Jack Gallagher. But point being, I love CM Punk. I love Triple H. Can we all just get along and hold hands, please, and be a wrestling family, and then fight each other because our family didn't, buy us our Christmas present or some shit? Like, can we just throw presents at each other? And presents be steel chairs and shit?
Yeah.
That's all I want. That's all I want in life.
Clement Petio, I think.
Clement.
I don't really know.
Clement Platois. I'm sure that's how they'll pronounce his name on Raw if he ever gets there. Like the most French fucking pronunciation ever.
He was also like the most built out of everybody.
He was huge.
I thought he was great. And he fought Cedric Alexander in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of guys out there in the first round who are really good. Just not quite. They didn't have the magic that TJ Perkins or Kota Ibushi or Cedric Alexander or the Brian Kendrick had. They didn't have that, just like you watch them in that first match and you're already invested in them. Fabian Eichner, I thought he was good. Any of the bald Italian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Clement Pateau, he was good too. I thought
the one that disappointed me the most that lost in the first round, actually it was the very first show, the first CWC, was Arya Daivari.
I love Daivari. That fucking, what did he hit against? Did he wrestle Metalik?
No, he wrestled Ho Ho Lun. Who sucked in the first.
Oh, I'm thinking Mustafa Ali. My bad. Mustafa Ali, sign that dude too. He's great. I loved him.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, so Daivari, he was with Ho Ho Lun the first show that they did, and Ho Ho Lun was not that great, but he won.
He's just green.
I'm happy he didn't go that far.
Isn't he from Hong Kong?
I think so.
Well, they're trying to. WWE is trying to penetrate that market now.
Blah 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 blah.
And it is really great that he got a win, because I think he started his own wrestling school over there, which is like unheard of, and like he's really passionate about it. So like, yeah, I'm glad he got a win. With that said, he is green. He's not on the level as a lot of the guys, and that's okay. He's working toward it. He's passionate about it. I'm not in the business of putting other people down. I know that's kind of a internet pastime. That's not my style. I'm not here to tear other people down or critique them unnecessarily. Like I'm happy he got his shot. I'm happy that a lot of these guys got a shot. That dude from Chile,
yeah, for sure.
I can't remember his name. That dude from Chile came and fucking brought it. Like,
I don't remember either.
You know who I'm talking about though.
I think I do. Yeah.
He tall. He had like long kind of basketball shorts looking pants. I think they were white and blue. He came in and fought, and that's what the fucking Cruiserweight Classic was about. It was about you have one opportunity to make an impact and make a name and make people remember you, and these guys went out and did it. They didn't. Nobody missed. Nobody whiffed. They all stepped to the plate and got a piece of the pie, And I'm just happy because it's good for wrestling in general. It's good for the wrestling wrestlers moving forward, giving people an opportunity to belong when they didn't in the past. And I'm just happy. That's what I want. I want wrestling to be a community thing, a family thing. And the Cruiserweight Classic fostered that feeling. That's a really happy thing. I'm stoked. I'm really I'm kind of sad that it's over, but I'm really happy that it happened,
Oh, I'm really sad that it's over because Mauro Ranallo and Daniel Bryan are not going to be on commentary anymore. And
Yeah, I would love it if they could comment anything and I'd watch. Shout out Mauro and Daniel because y'all were great.
Man,
My
they
goodness.
really brought it in this Cruiserweight Classic.
Yeah. So let's talk about, because now the real business starts. Let's talk about the Cruiserweight division that is now happening on Raw. So we have TJ Perkins as our first champion, our inaugural champion. Who else is in the division? Noam Dar, Jack Gallagher, Cedric Alexander. I'm sure Neville will be in it. I hope Neville is in it. You got anybody else? I can't remember the names that are signed. I could probably find it on
Metalik.
Grand Metalik. My bad.
I think Tozawa.
Yeah,
I think
he is too.
You said Dar, right?
I said Dar.
Swan.
Rich Swan. That's right. And then Gargano and Ciampa.
Right.
That's a great division.
That's fantastic.
That's a fun.
You know what though? The promo that they cut before the match, the tag team match,
Yep.
I feel like they might not be coming up yet. They might stay in NXT until the next takeover.
Well, I think they'll pull double duty, or really, you don't need them yet. That's okay too.
I mean, SmackDown is doing just fine with just 6 women.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they could do I don't know. I don't remember how many men we listed.
Brian Kendrick is listed on the Raw roster currently.
Oh, good. You're there. So
What I'm looking at Wikipedia, and it's got Akira Tozawa. I'm having to read these off the total list. I'm just looking at them as they stand out. Akira Tozawa, the Brian Kendrick, Cedric Alexander, Grand Metalik, Jack Gallagher, Johnny Gargano, Neville, Noam Dar, Rich Swann, TJ Perkins, Tommaso Ciampa.
There's 12 people.
Boom. It's a bunch.
That's
and
nice.
you could throw in Xavier Woods. You could throw in I would totally throw in Xavier Woods. I think he probably makes that weight limit. That'd be cool.
Sami Zayn, I'd throw in.
Sami Zayn, you could throw him in. I think he's kind of 210, 205, somewhere around there. Yeah, Xavier's listed at 205, so he would be right on the cusp of being a cruiserweight.
So just to bring Raw into this for just 1 minute, aside from the cruiserweight stuff, I didn't, because we talked about this yesterday, but I didn't really watch that much of Raw, and just not seeing any part of New Day this week, I already feel refreshed.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't miss it at all. I'm not going, I wonder what New Day did on Monday.
I don't really. I didn't watch either. I needed a break from Raw. It's too taxing. Now that the cruiserweights are there, it'll be a little more refreshing. I know that they had a comedy angle with the club, and that's the wrong way to manage either of these two teams. So
my point in bringing this up is I would really like to see them split at this point and absolutely have Xavier Woods in the cruiserweight division. And I wonder, can Kofi be in the cruiserweight division too?
I don't think so. Kofi's too tall, too big for that, I think. What I would say is I don't know if I want them to break. I want them to do something different and, having the New Day get away from the tag team title scene and kind of support Xavier as he tries to win a Cruiserweight title, that'd be cool.
That would
That would be different. Kofi is listed at 212, so he'd have to drop 10 pounds, or at least they'd have to bill him as 10 pounds less to be a Cruiserweight. That would be cool. I'd love Kofi in the Cruiserweight division. Like, come on, man. He's kind of the vet they need.
Yeah.
They don't really have too many veterans.
Kendrick.
Mm-hmm. The Brian Kendrick, that's right. But yeah, they don't have anyone else other than that. And I mean, part of that is interesting too, because you have all these young guns just going at it. So that's cool. But yeah, I think you want one more, maybe two more veteran guys in there. Neville's a veteran essentially. But he's from that Japanese wrestling and stuff as Pac. So yeah. Dude, come on, man. We're going to have Neville versus Cedric Alexander. We're going to have Neville versus TJ Perkins, potentially Neville Ibushi down the line. Come on. Let's go.
I'm also happy that Gallagher is on a different brand than the Vaudevillains, because that could have given Vince an idea, and I'm glad Vince won't have that idea now.
Yeah. Let's keep that away from him. Let him tear his quads, and we'll keep our cruiserweights to ourselves. You know.
Yeah. And we're not wishing injury on the man.
We're just
out there.
We're just saying he already injured himself, fucking squatting. First off, if you're squatting and you tear your thigh muscle, your quad, you're putting up some weight. You're not tearing it on 200 pounds or something. So that begs the question, what is a 7-year-old man doing squatting, like, for weight? Oh, my God.
He's crazy.
My goodness. I don't know what he's taking, but apparently he never sleeps either. Like, I don't think he's human at this point.
That's very possible. Yeah.
I don't know. You got anything else to say on the cruiserweights or the cruiserweight division or the belts or anything you want to talk about?
All right, so I'll put this to you first. Monday comes, we have all the new cruiserweights. What do you think is the first thing that we see?
Probably TJ Perkins. Man, I bet they do, because I'm sure this would be just wonderful for them to waste. It feels like, this is my biggest critique of Raw. It feels like they do segments with the intention of wasting as much time as possible because they have too much time to fill. And it's not like it's not like they want to waste it, but they want it to consume as much time as possible. And that kind of ruins the must-see-ness of each segment. So with that thought in mind, I'm sure what they'll do is they'll have this big rollout with a purple carpet and chairs and all this stuff, and they'll like individually introduce every cruiserweight, and then they'll bring out TJ Perkins last, and then they'll get into stuff, and then maybe Neville comes out and challenges Perkins to a match. It's going to be kind of something like that. You know what I mean? Sounds about right?
Or they could put them in a gigantic 12-man tag team match.
Oh, yeah, that's... and then Cena dives over the rope on all of them. Cena from SmackDown, jumping, leaping, whatever. I don't know.
Honestly,
I'm excited because it's must-see for at least 1 week.
I feel like that's what they're going to do, because they want to introduce all of these high flyers who probably a good, I want to say 40 to 45% of the arena on Monday did not see the Cruiserweight Classic, and probably are like, so who are all these people?
Yeah, I bet they'll do a highlight, like best of the Cruiserweights, and that would be a good way to waste time for them too. They can do like, ladies and gentlemen, or they'll have Michael Cole, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Cruiserweights later tonight, if you haven't been watching the Cruiserweight Classic, here's a look at what happened, and they'll show like fucking July 23rd match, Kota Ibushi versus Cedric Alexander, and then show highlights and please sign Cedric, and they'll do that shit, and they'll just do those over and over and over, you know.
They'll basically beat it to death
throughout the show. Exactly. Well, that wouldn't be beating it together to death if they picked the best ones, you know. But you get the point. It's not going to be so succinctly packaged as this nice Cruiserweight Classic was, which is just a pity because that's just how Raw has to manage itself. But my ultimate point, and the reason why I'm so positive about this, despite sounding like that, is the talent that they have signed is not just good. It's not just great. It's spectacular. It is. These guys can go out and wrestle, each of them, 20-minute match every night, and it's going to be great. And Raw needs that desperately. So that's a good thing. That's a very, very good thing. Very, very excited, very happy. This tournament, man, it was great. It was.
I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a picture of TJ Perkins so I can make a Photoshop, put as the thumbnail for this video. I'm going to do that in just a bit. I kind of turn it to the fans now, man. What was your favorite part of the Cruiserweight Classic? And who do you want to see in a future Cruiserweight Classic if we get the opportunity to see another one? If you got something in mind, you let me know. My thought of bring back Kendrick, Sabre, Omega, Ricochet, Ospreay. I don't know if you can beat that, but you can certainly try.
I don't know if they'll. See, here's the thing, though. I don't know if they'll put people from the Cruiserweight division on Raw into the tournament again.
But they should. I mean, not many, but like one or two.
Probably the ones that stood out the most. So definitely Kendrick, for sure.
Yeah, because Kendrick had such a good story. You know, and now that he's on Raw, it's going to change the story, and there's a lot they could work with, especially if you bring back Daniel and Morrow to call it, which you should.
On Raw?
Or, no, you know what I mean, to the Cruiserweight. You know what I'm talking about. Don't make me say words.
You say too many words sometimes.
I totally say too many words. It's a problem. Blame my family.
Don't bring your family.
I have one side of my family that is just the loudest, most obnoxious. And they're not obnoxious. I love them, but it's like you got to talk so loud to get any kind of words in.
I'm sure my neighbors in this apartment building really appreciate how loud I have to talk over you.
A lot. I apologize. Apologize in advance. Anyway,
So,
man, TJ Perkins, your WWE Cruiserweight champion. Wow.
This Monday will be exciting just to see what they do with this alone.
Yeah.
Forget about everything else.
Yeah. For sure.
You know, I love that Kevin Owens is a champion for sure, but I don't need to watch 3 hours of the show just to watch his segments. I can just watch them on YouTube.
Yeah, and that's the problem that Raw has at the moment is you have – I've said this a couple times in certain places, especially with my friends, is you have a couple of feuds that are really good. You have Seth Rollins KO, wonderful feud, right? You have Rusev Reigns. They've kind of done some weird stuff, but it's still two really good wrestlers, and you'll love it whenever they have a match. And then you have Zayn Jericho, very intriguing. Want to see where that goes. You have the women who have been killing it. And then what else? And that's the problem that Raw has is you have 4 amazing feuds, but with 3 hours, that's not good enough. That only covers like an hour. Where's the rest of the show? I can just watch those 4 segments on YouTube. And, they got to figure that out. But the nice thing is the Cruiserweights are coming. They can help with that issue. My hope is that they treat the Cruiserweights as a big fucking deal because they should be treated as a big fucking deal.
I'm pretty sure that they will, and I think we really need to thank the brand split for that, because I don't know if you could accurately do what they're doing with the cruiserweight division if everyone that's SmackDown only were also on Raw.
Yeah, it'd be tough. It'd be tough. It's gonna be interesting to see how they handle this. That's gonna be a good thing to keep an eye on moving forward.
Well, in that case, we hit the 40-minute mark, and
God damn it! Every time.
I mean, I don't.
Not a bad thing, unless you find me annoying because I talk about 80% of the time.
I do find you annoying, but that's okay.
Fuck, man, I'm sorry. I'll try. I'll be better. We need to make Alex great again.
Please no.
Who's ready for some Titus Darren Young on Monday? Whoa! Not me.
Not me either.
Anyway, I want to see Darren Young go heel and just break people's legs. That'd be great.
I really don't give a shit. I don't care. So we have a website. It's called thesmarkcity.com. We have a Facebook. It's what is the?
Don't even know the Facebook. Facebook.com/the_Smark_City.
Yeah. You see, the problem with that is that you always confuse me because you would say backslash at first, and then
I did always say that, and I finally broke myself the habit.
I blame you for that.
I'm sorry.
And we have a Twitter at the Smark City, and that's pretty much everything that we have to our names.
That sounded very sad. And that's all we have.
But we're making it great.
Jiggle like a dilapidated hat at the people. Change.
Anything else that you want to get out of your mouth, sir?
No. You wanna? It's a little weird how you said that.
Why is that weird?
Anything you want to get out of your mouth? Just kind of, I don't know. Struck me as weird. Anyway, thanks for hanging with us. What are questions for you now? What do you want to see from the Cruiserweight divisions on Raw? And what do you want to see with the Cruiserweight Classic moving forward? Because I think all of us really, really enjoyed it. As for now, we've got to get on the Lucha Underground again. I don't have it on fucking television, which is unfortunate, but yeah, we'll get some coverage on that shit. Hang out with us on Twitter. Definitely hit us up.
Twitter is the best place to contact us.
At the Smark City. When in doubt, the Smark City. Like a little cheerleader thing, like Guinea Force.
Go ahead. Give me some other phrases. Go ahead. Shout them out.
Some other phrases. What do you mean?
Good. Put when in doubt, the Smark City. Or,
Keep calm in the Smark City. Let's use memes from 2014.
Make the Smark City great again.
Oh my god, I'm about to cough, and I don't want to do that in the microphone.
It's okay, you can cough.
I coughed and I muted myself.
Yeah,
so you're welcome, viewers. Oh shit, this is amazing font. I'm using that. Y'all, this thumbnail's gonna look so good.
Oh, good. You know, any awesome thumbnail, especially the WWE Backlash one that you did. Wow, that thing was fantastic.
Thanks, man. What was the? I didn't do anything crazy with that one. I just did I did our logo that I made, but yeah.
All right, we're rambling now. We got to go.
Of course we are. That's what we do here. Did you hang us up?
No.
Good. Don't cut me off. I'm making a Photoshop. Damn it.
What? No, you know what? Screw you.
No. I mean, maybe, but don't. You probably ought to turn this off.
Goodbye.